Hi, I'm Alison. Welcome to Dream Chasers Adventures in Happiness, where my band of superhero guests and I share with you tales of daring do, life-changing journeys towards living our best lives. If you're after an injection of inspiration and ideas to live the life that you want and deserve, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Hi there, and welcome to the show where we serve up conversation, concepts, and belief that it is entirely possible to create what you crave. If there's something stopping you from pursuing happiness, whatever that looks like to you from a career or lifestyle point of view, the stories and insights covered here are designed to help. Now today, I want to share a provocative philosophy with you. I've been really inspired by a book that I listened to called Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. Now, on the surface, this book is all about dying with £0 in the bank and making that your aim. Now, I appreciate that this sounds quite drastic and possibly a bit mad, but the deep premise behind Perkins' philosophy is about aiming to consciously get the utmost out of the life that we have. He challenges us to really think about death, now something that most of us do a great job of avoiding, and work backwards, considering how to get the most out of our money and our life, rather than putting things off for some far-flung time in the future or our retirement. The book blends eye-opening insights about time, money, and happiness from both a psychological science and behavioural finance perspective. And it makes a timely, convincing, and pretty contrarian case for living large. Intrigued? Honestly, this stuff is fascinating. And in honour of it, I have worn my Growing Brave jumper for anybody that is watching on video. So let's get into it. So let me give you a bit of a picture of Bill Perkins' thought-provoking stance on this. Here's how he describes it. Imagine if by the time you died, you did everything that you were told to do. So you worked hard, you saved your money, and you looked forward to financial freedom when you retired. The only thing that you wasted along the way was your life. Now, Perkins' contention is that death wakes people up, and that the closer it gets, the more awake and aware we become. And when the end is near, we are suddenly thinking, what the hell am I doing? Like, why did I wait this long? But until that point, most of us go through our life as if we had all the time in the world. And I don't know about you, but I have spent most of my life in this place. Well, until that is, I lost my husband very suddenly last year, and everything that I'd assumed and planned for me and us and our life together was gone in an instant. Now, Perkins asserts that the sad truth is that many of us delay gratification for too long or indefinitely. And we put off what we want to do until it's too late, saving money for experiences that we will never enjoy. And he thinks that living as if our life were infinite is incredibly short-sighted. So his challenge to anybody is to think about how we make the most of our finite time on Earth. He wants to rescue us from oversaving and underliving, which I love the premise of. And his book outlines a plan for optimizing our life stage by stage so that we are fully engaged and enjoying what we've worked and saved for. Now, around about this point, you might well be thinking, this is all very well in theory, Alison, but I have financial responsibilities and commitments, and I can't just throw caution to the wind and be irresponsible and indulge in whatever takes my fancy. But that's not what this is about. The very crux of the Die with Zero philosophy is to consider your own net worth curve. So how much money and assets you are accumulating over time, because typically for most people, we tend to accumulate more the older we get. So it kind of rises, and balance that intel against our aging curve, because the reality is the older we get, the less our health is guaranteed and the less mobile and able we're likely to be. So that axis is going down whilst the asset axis is going up. So Perkins asks us to compare these two curves and aim to make conscious decisions about whether to invest in or delay meaningful and memorable experiences. Now, one of the fascinating things that he gets us to do, or he suggests we do in the light of this, is use any insurer's free life expectancy calculator, which will give you an estimate on the age you are likely to live to after you've answered a few quick questions. Now, this is a pretty bold thing to do, but it gives us information to work with. So I'm putting a link to one of these free calculators into the show notes in case you fancy being brave and having a go yourself. And I'm doing it because while it's a stark reminder of our own mortality, it's a very powerful prod in getting us to consider how to maximize our money and assets with that age limit in mind. Now, I've personally done this, and this book's philosophy has really helped me think about my life, what I want from it moving forward, and what's really important to me. And the upshot is that making memories with the people that I love the most and sharing experiences with them that lift me up, that widen my perspective, that generate powerful emotions of awe and wonder, and that thrill and excite me are what I want my life to be about. And I want my legacy, if I'm leaving one, to be about helping and inspiring others to go after what they really want and whatever it is that makes them and their lives most happy. Now, for me personally, this philosophy means that I've made some conscious choices to enhance my life today and this year, which I wouldn't have done before. Now, so instead of investing in a new home office, which was my original plan, I've used some of those savings for different life-enhancing things instead. So it means that I've booked a place on a massive walking holiday where I'll be joining a group to walk part of the Camino de Santiago from Portugal into Spain. And I'm doing it because my fitness levels today might not be the same in years to come. I've also pre-booked several fun weekends away with friends and family, and I've peppered in theatre trips and amazing food and art experiences, and something I'm super excited about, I'm going coasteering in Pembrokeshire, where I will be jumping off rocks into the sea and exploring sea caves with a fabulous adventuring friend of mine. And I'm doing these things because I love these people. And I want to treasure the time that I'm spending with them, making memories that will stay with us for all of our lifetimes. And finally, the other thing that I've done is ramp up my fun training sessions with my natural movement coach, Mike, who has me rolling around on the floor doing all sorts of hilarious moves that very much appeal to my inner child. And I'm doing this in order to consciously build a different level of strength and power in my body in an attempt to extend my health span and my physical capabilities as I continue aging. Because frankly, if I'm going to live until I'm really old, which I fully intend on, I want to be cartwheeling around in my 80s, not struggling to get up the stairs. So that's what I'm doing. And, all that aside for me, my intention today with this podcast is to really get you thinking about you and your life and what it is you really want. If you didn't have all the time in the world, what's most important to you? If you think about your own net worth curve, so the money and assets that you have accumulated and that you might continue to accumulate as time goes on, in relation to your age curve, are there choices that you might make this month or this week or this year to enhance and get the utmost out of your life? Who do you want to be spending your time with? What do you want to be doing? What kind of personal legacy do you want to leave? Now, the answer to these questions will vary, obviously, person to person. Some people are active and adventurous, while others prefer to stay close to home. Some get satisfaction from spending money on themselves and their family and friends, while others might prefer to spend time and money on those less fortunate than themselves. And it can be an absolute mix. So if you were placing lifelong memorable or meaningful experiences ahead of making and accumulating money for your so-called golden years, what might you do differently? In Perkins' own words, what's the best way to allocate your life energy before you die? I, for one, want to live purposefully and not on autopilot anymore. And I am now intent on continually thinking about what makes me happy and then converting my money into experiences that match. So my invitation to you today is to do the same. So that's it for this episode. I really hope that Bill Perkins' view has got you thinking. It certainly did me, as you can probably tell. And it shifted my focus from maximising my assets to living my best possible life. And hopefully it's done a little of the same for you. Now, if you know anyone who would benefit from listening to this episode, please do share it. And until next time, just know that I believe in you and your ability to live your fullest and most happy life. So go do your thing.
Thank you for listening today. I hope our time together has got you thinking about your own adventure in happiness. So please do get in touch. I'd love to hear more about your story. And why not join our Dream Chasers Unite community? There is nothing better than an adventure shared. Until next time, be brave and go create what you crave.